This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce to you the incredible new Double Trouble roulette system from Steve. He says this is unbelievable, and you're going to start winning money in the casino every single day. So I hope he's right. We're going to test it out today, and we're going to test it against another fantastic system, 5 double streets, in a head-to-head matchup, and I can't wait to see which one of these systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. And let's just jump right in and get started. And here we go with 5 double streets first, and then we'll get to Double Trouble by Steve. And I can't wait for this one. Let's go ahead and place those first bets of 5 double streets, and all you do is bet 5 $5 bets for a $25 total bet. And let's go ahead and spin, and let's see what we get here. I'll cover the progression and everything else you need to know with both these systems, as well as the bankroll, and that's a nice $5 win to start. So we're up $5. We're just going to rebet and spin and see how many wins we can get before we have our first loss with 30 numbers. And that's a 9 red. That's another win. So now we're up $10, and we're just going to rebet and spin. You're going to get a lot of wins with this system, and then I'll share with you how to recover once you have losses. That's a 1 red. And that's a loss. So when we lose with this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to triple the bet. So we're going to go from 5 to 15. Just like that. Get those bets right. And now we're going to go ahead and spin with a $75 total bet. And here we go. That's a 13 black. And there's one win of $15. And you can see why we need to get 2 wins, because we're not in session profit. So let's go ahead and get another win right here. That's a 0, so we definitely lost that one. So it's time to triple the bet again. So we're going to go from 15 to 45 on each of these. And usually you don't get a lot of losses with this many numbers covered, but that's why we have a bankroll, which we'll go over here shortly. And there's going to be 45 on each. And this is a really good way to play roulette, but it's definitely one that you need a good sized bankroll for, and a good smaller starting bet, and that's a 22 black. That's a nice win, and you can see we're at minus 30, so we're going to need one more win here, and then we can reset back to $5 and start making some more consistent profit with 5 double streets. And that's another loss. My goodness, we have to triple the bet again, so we're going to have to go from 45 to 135 on each of those bets, but I bet we don't have to do it again. Let's go ahead and get some wins here, and let's get these all up to 135, just like that. Oops, having trouble placing my bets today, my goodness. Okay, let's get these to 135. There we go, 135. And I'm betting we get 2 in a row here, and then we can reset. Let's see what we get. And okay, we're at minus $255. This is a $2,000 bankroll system, so we're good there. And that's a 22 black. There's one win of $135. We're going to need one more win, and then we can reset and start making $5 per spin again. And normally you don't have this many losses with 5 double streets, but there's our second win, and we're at $15. We're going to go back to where we started and just put 5 out there. Again, you can pick any 5 that you want with 5 double streets. So let's go ahead and do that again. That's a $25 total bet, and I don't think you'll see near that many losses this time around. That's a 13 black, but you can see how important it is to have a good bankroll, because we definitely needed it with all those losses that we had right there. And let's see what we get on this one. That's a 35 black, and man, we're getting way more losses than normal with 30 numbers covered. But that's okay. We're going to go from 5 to 15, and I don't think we'll go as high in the progression this time. Usually at 15 you get it right back, and let's do that. I keep putting one too many there. There we go. Now we're at $75 total bet, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 15 black, and that's a win. So we're going to go ahead and rebet and try to get 2 wins right here. And let's see what we get on this one, and then we'll be able to reset. That's a 12 red. That's another nice win. So we're up $25. We're going to go back to where we started. 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. 6 numbers covered by each $5 bet. And here we go. Again, 30 numbers covered. And that's an 11 black. Okay, that's a win. So we're up 30 now. We'll rebet and spend. And you could also play this with $1,000 bankroll. 2,000 would be better just in case you get in a lot of trouble, but 1,000 would be plenty because I've played this plenty of times before with the $2,000 bankroll and with $10 units. So if you want to make double what we've made so far, just use $10 units instead of 5. But never gamble with money that you can't afford to lose. So always play within what you have to spend. And we lost that one, so we're going to go from 5 to 15 on all these bets and spend with a $75 total bet here. And here we go. That's a 1 red, and we just keep hitting the edges. This is crazy. But it happens sometimes when you're playing roulette, so we'll go to 45. That's why the bankroll is so essential. You never know when you're going to get some outliers or some losses that are not normal, or the amount of losses that you would normally have. We're at 225 total bet now, and let's get 2 wins so we can reset. That's a 5 red. Okay, that's a $45 win. We need to rebet and spin again, and then we'll start making some more profit here. That's a 22 black. Okay, that's a $45 win. We're up 25, so that set us back just a little bit there. That's okay. We just need to get a bunch of wins and then cash out and declare victory over the casino like we like to do. And remember, you can get those shirts at theroulettemaster.com. And boy, it's being tough on us today. I always wear those shirts so that I remember to cash out when I'm ahead. It's probably the best thing that you can do. I'm sorry, we need to go to 15 here, not 45 yet. And that's what Sonny always says. You know, he works in a casino real close to where I play in Las Vegas, and he kind of gave me the inspiration to make those shirts, and it sure helps me wearing them because every time I get up a good amount, I think to myself, it's time to cash out and declare victory for the day, and that's a good feeling. So let's rebet and spin again, and let's get a second win here, and then we'll be able to reset again. That's a 6 black. Okay, that's a nice $15 win. We're up 30. And let's see if we can get a bunch of wins here in a row. We really haven't been able to do that yet. But when you play with 30 numbers, eventually you should get a bunch of wins in a row. And hopefully it's starting right now. Okay, $5 win. We're up 35. And let's spend. Again, you can do this with a $1,000 bankroll. And then if you want to do $10 units, go do 2,000. That's a 6 black. And we're at 40. Let's rebet and spend. And here we go. Basically, you would you would have twice the risk, but twice the reward. And that's a 30 red there. Now we're starting to get some consecutive wins, and we're up $45. And here we go. Let's see what we get on this one. That's a 35 black. And we lost again, so we're going to go ahead now and go from 5 to 15. Okay, now we're at a $75 total bet, and let's spin. We just have had a bunch of losses today with 30 numbers. That's our second double zero, so it's time to increase again. We're going to go from 15 to 45. And here we go. And if you can play this on European roulette, you can make even more profit with this system. But I know there's not that many places you can play European roulette in the States, but there are some in Las Vegas. And like the Plaza and MGM Grand, where you can find a single zero wheel. And that's a nice $45 win. We're going to rebet and spin and try to get our second win here. And here we go. That's a 19 red. Okay, that's another win. We're back up 35. It dropped us back a little bit. So you don't always get back to session profit, but you at least get close when you get your second win. Let's go ahead and spin again here and see what we get. That's a 7 red. Okay, $5 win. We're up 40. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 10 black. Okay, we're up 45. And let's spin. So if you do a $1,000 bankroll with $5 units, it's good to cash out with about $100 profit. If you do the $2,000 bankroll with $10 units, try to win 200 before you cash out. But anytime you cash out with money that you didn't bring, it is a victory and is fantastic. So let's see what we get here. That's an 18 red. Okay, another $5 win. We're up $55. So we would be up $110 right now if we were using the $10 units. And that's a 23 red. Let's just see if we can get $100 profit here with these $5 bets, and let's spin. I think it'll be pretty easy to do with this system, except we just lost again. That's a 35 black. So let's go ahead and increase that by tripling it, 5 to 15. Here we go. Oops, one too many. I did it again. There we go, $75 total bet, and let's spin. All right, let's see what we get here. That's a 34 red and another loss. Okay, so it's when you have the setbacks, it's when you have a bunch of losses in a row, which we've had way more losses than normal. But I can tell you I have done very well with this system in the past. But, you know, as always, there's always some risk when you play. And let's hope that things, get better from here on. That's an 8 black. That's a nice win. We need one more of those. And let's see if we can get a win here at 225 total bet. That's a 32 red. And there's a good win. Okay, so we're up 50. We're going to go back to 5 and build it back up. I still think we'll get to $100 profit here. And again, you probably try to get $200 profit if you have $10 units as a good stop win. And that's a $5 win there. We're up 55. Let's go ahead and spin again here. And that's pretty good. About 10% return that's the best way to do it. Is don't try to double your money on most of these systems. So like if you put down 1,000, don't expect to win 1,000. Try to get at least 10% and then cash out. And that's a win. We're up 65. And let's go ahead and spend. But sometimes you can play systems with jackpots and you'll win more and things like that. But you want to increase the chances that you're going to be successful each day. And we're up $70. Let's rebet and spin with 5 double streets. And I can't wait to share with you that new system of the day, Double Trouble, coming up. And I think you're going to absolutely love it. We're up 75. And let's rebet and spin. It's going to be awesome, I think. I can't wait to see how much money we make, and that's a 5 red. And we're up 80. We'll just rebet and spin. Now we're starting to get some consecutive wins, and here we go. That's an 8 black. Okay, nice. We're up $85. We'll rebet and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 3 red. Boy, we keep hitting the edges, and that is another loss. So we're going to go from 5 to 15. Another good thing about playing this way is it really quickly will meet your minimum bet on the inside for sure, because there's so many bets. And that's a $15 win. We're up 75. Let's get one more. Then we'll be able to reset. Here we go. And that's a 33 black. It's another win. We're up $90, and we'll go back to where we started at 25 and spin. All right, a couple minutes left, and then we're going to get to that new system of the day you guys have been waiting for, Double Trouble. That's a 14 red. But in the meantime, we're going to consistently make more money with this system, which is 5 double streets. And again, you can play it with $10 units and a $2,000 bankroll, or you can do a $1,000 bankroll with $5 units. Okay, we lost that one though, so let's increase again. We'll go 5 to 15. This is also a really good one for building comp credit if you're playing, on a electronic roulette or a let's see, and that's any of the ones where you can bet, can bet and use your card. We're up $85, and let's rebet and spin. And yeah, you can really build up your tier credits. Some of them adjust for roulette, but you still build them up pretty fast. That's a loss there. Let's go ahead and increase that again to 45. Okay, and then remember, we're trying to get to at least $100 profit with this with $5 units. And let's go ahead and spin. And again, shoot for 200 if you have $10 units. And my goodness, that's really bad luck. 35 black. Okay, we're going to have to triple again. So let's see where we're at. We're at 45. So that would be 135 on each. And we might have to get 3 wins on this one and get us back up there. But I think we're due for some good luck after everything we've gone through so far. We've been patient. We've used our bankroll to our advantage. And I think it might be time just to get to that $100 profit and cash out. Let's do it. Okay, we're at 675 total bet. And here we go. Oh my goodness, 36 red. And man, we don't have enough money to, with that $1,000 bankroll, we don't have enough money to place our next bet. That's why at the beginning I was saying you could use 2, but I think we're going to lose our bankroll on this one. Not completely, but the 15 minutes is up and we lost $890. So obviously if we had the $2,000 bankroll, we could keep going. But you would just triple again and try to get 2 wins. But I think it's time for that new roulette system of the day. Let's see if it can do fantastic. And I know you guys are excited about that one. So let's just jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for Double Trouble, and I think you're going to absolutely love this one. Let's place the bets and get started. And we're going to have a bunch of double streets or line bets here, more than you've probably ever used before. And here we go. Okay, so all that's not covered is 34, 35, 36, and 0 double 0. So let's go ahead and spend. This is a $50 total bet to start. And here we go. Okay, that's a 19 red. Okay, that's a $10 win. We're up $10. We're just going to rebet and spin. And then once we have losses, I'll share with you what to do next. We're going to try to stay away from that 34, 35, 36, and then 0 double 0. That's a nice $10 win there. We're up 20 bucks. Let's rebet and spin. I'm going to definitely be using this one at the casino tonight. I've done some testing on it already and have done really well. And let's see what we get here. So that's another win, $30 profit already. And let's spin again. And this is a super high coverage system, but seems to do really, really well. And that's another $10 win. We're up 40. And then once we have a loss, I'll share with you what to do next. But basically, we have almost all the line bets covered, except for the 31, 34 there. And that's another win. We're at $50. And let's spin again. All right, here we go. Okay, that's a 26 black. Okay, and then we need to talk about some other bets here as well, or some other wins as well. We're up 60. Let's rebet and spin. And you can see if we hit the 31, 32, 33, or the 1, 2, 3, we're not going to have the same amount of winning that we do on the inside. So once we hit one of those, I'll share with you what to do different on that. We're going to have one reaction to that, one reaction to a total loss, and then the rest of the time, we're just going to keep making money. And we're already up $70. We're going to rebet and spin, but we'll get to that. And I can't wait to see how well this does, because it's done really good in the testing so far. And I know it seems like a lot of bets, but I really like it. We're up $80, and the key is going to be in the progression, obviously. But this is also a system you could enjoy and cash out free play with if you didn't use a progression. And there's one of those bets there. So we're going to double the bet when that happens. Okay, so when we hit one of those 6 that are partial losses. And here we go. That's a 33 black. Okay, and that's, it's another one. Ouch. Okay, so we're going to have to double again. We hit another one of those partial losses, so we're going to double again. Now we're at $200 total, and this is a $2,000 bankroll system, but I think we'll recover nicely. Let's do it. That's a 13 black. Okay, that's a $40 win. We're up 60. We're going to try to get 2 wins. So let's go ahead and do that and spin, and then we'll go back to base level. Okay, that's a 35 black. My goodness, that is horrible luck. So when we hit one of the 34, 35, 36, or the 0 double 0, we're going to double twice. So that puts us at an $800 bet, and I have not had it go this high yet. But let's see what happens. That's a 12 red. Okay, that's a $160 win, and then we need one more of those. But again, I haven't seen it go this high, but that's why we keep testing things out so that you can see, what happens when you have really bad spins. But okay, now we're up 180 bucks. Let's go all the way back to the start and put those bets back out again. All right, and this is 10 double streets or 10 line bets, however you want to call it. That's a $50 total bet again, and here we go. That was pretty crazy there, and but I think you won't see much of that the rest of the way. But that's a single double since we hit a partial loss. So we're just going to go 50 to 100 and try to get 2 wins. So let's get those right now. That's a 19 red. And this is also a system where if you don't want to risk this much, if you don't want to have a $2,000 bankroll, the other thing you can do with this is just play without a progression. And obviously you won't have as much of a chance to win big. And now we're up $200. We're going to go back to where we started at 50. But if you don't want to bet with 2,000, you could play this system without a progression. But again, eventually the house edge would start to beat you. But we're up 210. But that's a really good way to cash out free play. That's a really good way if you're playing, if you're playing somewhere where you can use your card. And that's another $10 win. We're up $220. And let's go ahead and spin again. I always see people wasting their free play. If you play a system like this or something similar, you can almost always cash your free play out without even risking hardly anything. And we're up $230. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. I see some people do crazy stuff trying to cash their free play out. Like they'll bet on some of the machines where you can bet opposing bets. They'll do that, and sometimes that works out for them. But this would be a much better idea because you don't know how many times I've seen people bet like $100 on red and $100 on black just to build up comp credit, and then they hit green. And that's a disaster. We're up $250. Let's rebet and spin. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever seen somebody do that to try to build up comp credit. One time I saw it just because somebody was trying to be funny, and they didn't even hardly ever play roulette. We're up $260, and they were like, I'm going to put $200 on red and $200 on black. I can't lose, and then they hit green and lost the whole entire $400. So we're up $270. Let's rebet and spin. But most of the time when people are doing that, they're trying to build up comp credit. But this is a much better way of doing it than that. So that's a partial loss. So we double the bet and try to get 2 wins. So let's see if we can get the first one right here. That's a 29 black. Okay, that's a good one. There's our first win. We're up $270. Let's go for win number 2 here. And here we go. That's a 10 black. That should be good. Okay, we're up $290, and we'll drop back to 50 now. And spin. And remember, if we hit one of those 5 numbers that are completely uncovered, like the 35, we double twice. So we're going to do that now, which puts us at a $200 total bet. And let's spin. Let's get our first of 2 wins here so we can reset. That's a 7 red. Okay, $40 win. We're up $280. And let's do it again right here. All right. That's a 20. There's our second win. Okay, so now we're up $320. Let's go back to our original $50 bet. And again, I'm definitely going to be using this one tonight. And I'll let you know how well it does, but we'll see how it does the rest of the testing here as well. But I really like it so far, and that's a $10 win. We're up $330. And if you like to get a lot of wins, boy, this is a system where you're sure going to do that a lot. And that's a 12 red. Okay, $10 win. We're up $340. Most people would never even think of having this much coverage because it's massive, I know. But it seems to, everything I've tested with it so far seems to be doing really well, and we're up $350. Now I know earlier we did get a really high bet though, so there is some risk, and never gamble with money that you can't afford to lose. I hadn't seen it go that high yet, but obviously you saw today it is possible to get to a high bet level with this one. And if that scares you, just play without a progression. You just won't have, you're not going to win as much of the time. And but it's still a really good way to play. especially, you know, if you know someone that's and we'll double once after that partial loss. If you know somebody that's playing slots, losing hundreds and thousands of dollars a day, you know, they could play something like this with no progression at all. And there's another partial loss, so we'll double again. And they would do so much better than playing slots. So, oh my goodness, a double zero. Wow, that's really unlucky. That's 3 losses in a row. So we had to get back to this $800 bet again. So we'll see where we're at after we get a win here. Surely we're not going to lose another one here, and that's a 14 red. Okay, we're up 230. This is where you have to make a decision. Do you want to go for that second win, or do you want to reset at 230? The smart thing would be to drop back to 230, you know, I guess if we're teaching you to play, if I'm teaching you to play smart, we better do that, because that's the way. That's what you should do if you're playing, is take a loss and just build it back up. So, you know, I'm going to play this like I'm going to actually play in the casino when I test this out, and I think that's just the. I mean, that's the answer every time. Even though we would have won, you never know. And we're up 240. The most important part is protecting the bankroll, and that's what we just did. Obviously, it's easier to do that if you're up a lot, and that's a 19 red. And never feel like we're up 250. Never feel like, you know, just because you were up 400, you know, means you have to get back to 400. You're still winning for the day, and you have to remember that. But a lot of times when people are up a lot, they almost think that, oh man, I have to get back to there, or I lost. Well, actually, you didn't. You're still up, you know, $200 and some for the day. You're not actually losing for the day. You're winning for the day. But sometimes in people's minds, they feel like they're losing if, you know, they were up 500 and now they're up 200. If you're up for the day, you're up for the day. And you have to remember that. That's a 0. We've sure hit a bunch of those today. Mostly double 0. But let's go ahead now. And that was a total loss. So we'll double twice and get our 2 wins here. And see if we can build it back up and recover. It almost hit 36 again. That would not be good. Okay, that's a $40 win. We're up 260. We'll rebet and spin. And I can't wait to use this one tonight at the casino. That's a 32 red. And that's another partial loss, so we have to double once. Now we're at 400. And we can't have any more total losses here because that would not work. Let's just get our 2 wins and reset. Okay, so we're up 260. Let's get our second win here. And that was a partial loss. That's why we didn't have to double twice, and that's a 7 red. That's a good win. So we're up $340. Let's drop back to 50. And here we go. Let me know in the comments, you know, how you feel about high coverage systems, because I'm starting to play a lot more of them, and I've been doing, you know, much better with some of the high coverage systems, and that's a good win there. We're up $350. So you can see now why it was so important that we did not, you know, go for that $800 bet twice in a row. Even though we would have won, it wasn't worth the risk, and we already built it back up to where it was before. We're up $360. So protecting the bankroll is the most important thing that you can do when you're playing roulette, and you have to make good decisions. And the more you practice and make good decisions when you practice, we're up 370, the more you're going to do it when you're actually in the casino. So, you know, practice what you're going to do in the casino. And that's a 6 black. $10 win. We're up 380. And I see so many people playing on simulators with no bankroll, and where they just keep telling people, oh, I just keep winning and winning and winning, and they don't even have a bankroll. They just keep doubling until they win. Well, that doesn't teach you anything. You have to have a bankroll, and if you can't make the next bet, you don't make it. And you basically you learned something, and that's what simulation is for, is to practice for when you go to the casino, so that you know what you're going to do, and you have a good idea of what the outcomes could be, good or bad, and have more acceptance of, you know, what actually happens. We're at 410, and so practice, you know, strategies as much as you can, and make sure you have a bankroll in mind. Don't just keep hitting the double button. That's how these people have crazy high, like we're at 420, crazy high amounts on some of these you know, apps, is because they just keep doubling until they win, no matter what, with no bankroll. But that doesn't do you any good. Practice like you're going to play in the casino. Have the bankroll in mind that you're going to have when you play in the casino. And really, really important. So that's an 11 black. Okay, and we're at 440. Let's rebet and spin. And plan it out beforehand. Don't decide what you're going to do when you're sitting at the table. That's another partial loss, so we'll go up by 1 double. If we have total losses, we double twice and then try to get 2 wins. We're going to try to get 2 wins after this single double here, and that's a 28 black. There's the first one. We're at 440. Let's rebet and spin. And I'll let you know how I do with this one tonight, but we're coming down to the last couple minutes here, and we're at $460. Let's drop back to 50 now and spin. And so far so good with double trouble, and that's a 7 red. All right, we're at 470. We'll rebet and spin, and we have about 45 seconds left with this one. Let's see how it finishes up. That's a 1 red, and just as I say that, we had a partial loss again. So let's go ahead and double up and spin, try to get 2 wins. But 2 wins isn't that hard to get with this many numbers covered. We have huge coverage here. Oh, but we lost again, and we'll have to do a single double again. Now we're at 200, and we'll try to get our 2 wins. So let's get one right here. And there we go. There's one of them. That's why we have a bankroll, so that we can do this. Let's get our second win so that we can restart. And here we go. Don't hit the 00. Oh, that was close. That's a 10 black. Okay, so we're at $490. Let's drop back to 50. And since we're right at almost the 15-minute mark, let's go ahead and get one more win. And let's cash out and declare victory over the casino with this incredible new strategy. All right, so there's our $500 profit with double trouble after 15 minutes. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this one and if you're going to use it, and that would be fantastic. I hope you're really enjoying the channel, and keep sending your systems in to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. We do this every single day in the search for the best roulette system possible. And if you're enjoying the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing this community of people that love roulette. And this is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.